Good evening, everybody. It's Martin Staunton. I've got another Facebook post that I put together. I've had a really good day. I can't believe what I actually got done. I tackled Teresa's closet today, and wow, the woman was a clothes horse. She's got a lot of nice stuff, but you know how mothers and daughters are in terms of fashion. There wasn't a whole lot that the girls wanted. We went through together, and man, a gang of shoes. But while the oldest liked a lot of the shoes, she's two sizes too big, and while Mimi is the right size, again, the whole fashion clashing thing. But still, a bunch of nice shoes. Have no idea what I'm going to do with them. Um, I tell you what, though, I went outside and looked at the puppy that Teresa had picked so many years ago for the girls, you know, and they were too little to train her, really. So I did, and even though we gave the dog to them, it's my dog, really. Precious is my dog, and I just got the feeling that I'm gonna bathe this dog and bring her back in the house. When I moved to Beckley years ago, Teresa stayed in Charleston for another year to let the girls finish school, and also the house wasn't ready. It was just a wreck. In fact, when we first walked in here and the renters had moved out, she flat out said, "I'm not living here," and I assured her that with some TLC and a whole lot of money, it would be livable, and it is. But when I brought home that second puppy without asking Teresa, oh my gosh, she did not. Honestly, in 26 years of marriage, for the first time, I literally was in the doghouse, and she didn't talk to me for 2 weeks. I mean, she didn't say anything. She was so mad, and she was never mean to the puppy, Freckles, but she would just look at that dog, and he would just shrivel away, because they can sense stuff, and yeah, as soon as that puppy was big enough, she made me put him out, and she put Precious out with her. And I trained Precious. She's real good house dog, real good. Very. She's she's well trained indoor um, dog, and something just said, wash that dog today and bring her in. Leave that crazy pup out there by himself. So he's outside crying, and I washed her and brought her in. And I'm telling you, if you're a dog person, here, let me show you. Precious, come here, honey. Precious. She is a happy hat. Look, right here. Come here. Come on, girl. I got a Cheeto. You want one? Come on. Come on, girl. Come on. You can do it. Don't you want to say hi? Come on. Good girl. Good girl. Yeah, this is my good girl. Here, I'll adjust the camera. Well, see, the other thing, she snacks and then runs and eats it. Like, she doesn't want you to watch her. Like, I'm not eating this. It's not real if you're not watching me. And she'll be back. But yeah, she's been at my feet, following me around the house, and it kind of felt good because I've been wanting to do that for a couple of weeks now. Just have put it off as with the closet, and getting both of those things done today just gives me such a sense of accomplishment. But I tell you what, I talked about a story that I wanted to share with you guys, and I had friends over yesterday, and we got to talking and sharing stories. Huh? Yes, that looks really good. Let me see. Here, come show 'em. I'm doing my post. Yeah, I told you I was doing my post. You want to show them. Hold on, I gotta stop. I have to set this up. Okay, Mimi, my youngest, has just this natural talent with like hair and hairstyles, and she can do stuff. And in fact, I saw her doing her sister's hair today, and I think her sister's gonna wear that style to school tomorrow. It's pretty cool. But anyway, in going through the closet, Teresa's really big on hair too. So, we found bags and bags of extensions, ponytails, and just all kinds of stuff with hair. And Mimi found something that looks really cool, adds a little color to her bang. So, without any further ado, I'm gonna let her show you. Here, come on, honey, it looks great. It does. It really looks good. I know you're acting all shy. Here, lean down a little bit. You gotta lean in because you got that. Oh, see, now see the streak of color. That looks good, girl. See, that looks good. It looks like you got it. And see the way. See, mommy was so good at matching your hair color to that color. See where the color goes in? It's nice, right? Like mommy left it for you. There you go. You wearing it to school tomorrow? Maybe. Well, it looks very nice. You did good. Look at Precious. Think she wants another? Think she wants another Cheeto? You can give her one. Those are for her, they're not for me.
Leg. Leg.
Oh, you know she knows that trick. I trained this dog, girl. This dog is trained good, and she is so happy to be here. But what I was saying is that, Mimi and Teresa and Nisha, they stayed in Charleston for a year, and while we worked on the house, it was me and Precious. And when I say me and Precious, this girl was my roommate. In fact, at one point, Teresa said she was a little jealous because Precious was spending more time with me than her during that year of renovation here, and yeah, it was a little heartbreaking to put her out because yeah, she was real company when I was in this house by myself, and when I wasn't by myself, and now the puppy's back. But anyway, I said I'm going to share this funny story because this my friends came over and we were talking, and I've had a great career as a journalist. I mean, reporting in Southern West Virginia for the last 22 years has not just been a privilege. It's been an honor, and it's been so much fun. And unfortunately, I've had a front seat to, as many of you know, a lot of misery that we've endured here in the Mountain State over the last 2 decades. Between natural disasters and just tragedies that hit so unexpectedly. It was always nice to do the fun stuff. And one of the things that I really enjoyed about this job was the access it gives you to parades. As a kid, I loved watching parades. I never imagined myself being in a parade. And then TV stations like to have a presence in parades. And, I would always volunteer. I would drive the truck, I'd walk the parade route. Anybody who's been to a parade and, followed my career knows that, if there was a parade, chances are you'd see me waving. And you know what? Just in case you're ever in a parade and you haven't been in one, it's not easy to wave the whole time. That's exercise. And so I actually had a nice young lady from right here in Beckley, actually, Sherry Richmond. She was involved in pageants coming up, and she told me early on that the secret to waving was that you had to alternate. You literally had to go wrist, 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 and then you go elbow, elbow, elbow. Wrist, 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 elbow, elbow, elbow. That works. I'm telling you, if you're ever in a parade and you're waving, that works. So I've been in lots of parades. In fact, if you looked at my page today, one of my former coworkers, I think it's the 2004 Christmas parade. I'd only been working um, at WOWK for a couple of years, but it was a great crew, and we were so excited. West Virginia media was brand new, and we were statewide, and it was our first real Christmas parade. We all came together because it's a split um, television market. It's Huntington and Charleston, and so the crews, while we covered a vast area, actually getting us all together, that didn't happen a whole lot, but it did for this parade, and so it was nice to see those photos. But in speaking of the parade, I went to lots of parades, and one of the best parades happens right here in West Virginia, and it's a very local thing, but it's been going on for more than 50 years. It's called the Commode Bowl. No, I didn't stutter. I didn't say it wrong. The Commode, like a toilet. The Commode Bowl. It is a parade that marks the start of this pickup game of football. It's played in Dunbar, West Virginia, in Kanawha County, and I want to say it's played on Thanksgiving Day. In fact, I think it is Thanksgiving Day. Now, how this game started is a mirror image of communities all over the country, really. Lots of communities separated by a railroad track. Know what I mean? On one side of the track, you have your affluent community, so to speak, and then on the other side of the track, you have, well, the people from the other side of the track. So in Dunbar, there is a railroad track. It actually runs all the way up through the Kanawha Valley, but this particular railroad track through Dunbar separates the two communities where the folks on one side are known as river rats because that is the river side of the track. And then on the other side, they're the hillsiders because, it's West Virginia, from the river, the mountains go up and, the people live up on the hill. Hillsiders. Hillsiders versus the river rats, a Thanksgiving Day tradition where talented football players, grown men, many beyond their prime, play full contact football without pads. I mean, there are some serious injuries that occur at this game sometimes. And sometimes they're drinking beer on the sidelines in the cold, out of shape, full contact football. But before the big game that brings the community kind of together, they have this parade, and it's the Commode Bowl parade. And, it's a lot of muscle cars, and, there's some homemade floats, but it goes on for a long time, and it snakes all the way through the town. And, and once the parade starts and you're in it, that parade probably lasts an hour. I'm not kidding. It's probably an hour. So anyway, on this particular day, I'm working on Thanksgiving, and my assignment is to cover the Commode Bowl. I've done it before. It's a great game. It's a great story. I love telling it. But I'd missed breakfast that morning, and our spot in the little parade, it's formal but informal. And, I was with the TV station, so, as long as I didn't miss it, I was good, but I hadn't had breakfast. So at that time, this was long before diabetes or anything set in. Who knew? I'm having, journalist's breakfast of 2 giant bags of those Cape Cod kettle potato chips. And then I bought something else. I spent about $12 on junk food stuff. But I had these giant bags. No, I had 3 bags of those chips because I knew it was going to be an all-day thing, and it was going to be at the school. I wasn't going to get the break, so I bought a lot of snacks. But there was a bunch of those potato chips. So when we finally, me and my photographer, Ben Miles, I hope you watch this, Ben, because you know where I'm going with this parade story. So we get there, and one of the things is that this parade's been going on, like I said, for more than 50 years. People in that community in Dunbar they're not super poor. I mean, they're not rich or anything by any means. It's a blue-collar neighborhood for the most part, but they've been doing this for a while, so they actually have one of those blow-up inflatable floats. That's their signature float for the parade. And I told you what it's called, right? It's the Commode Bowl, right? So their major float is this giant toilet, and when the wind blows real good, that seat just flaps in the wind. It's like it's talking, going, "Hello, it's the Commode Bowl. Look at me." It's funny. It probably stands, 20 feet, 30 feet. I don't know. It's funny. But anyway, when we get there after I get my snack food, we barely make the parade. In fact, we have to slide in right in front of the Commode Bowl float. We're the last thing. So, A, everyone along the parade route is waiting to see this thing. And B, we're going to be the last people at the field. Parking's going to be terrible, but I'm resigned to it. It's always a fun event. Off we go. We're in the parade. It's a parade. So all the floats and cars in front of us are doing what people do in the parade, right? What do they do if you're a float? They throw candy and stuff. They, are tossing the stuff to the people. The people are reaching out. The kids are running around. It's a parade. It's fantastic. And so I'm in a marked news vehicle. Now, you guys go to the parades. When you see the news vehicles go by, what do? They also throw candy and stuff and all that. Well, on this day, we had none of that. Martin hadn't thought to get it. It's not that the station wouldn't have provided it. They would have. They were good about stuff like that. I didn't ask. We didn't have it. We're already in the parade. We're about a third of the way through, and I'm kind of tired of these looks that people are giving us as we drive by. And I don't have nothing to throw out the window, and they're all recognizing me. They're saying my name and stuff, and where's the candy? Where's the candy? We're right in front of the signature float. What am I going to do? What is a brother to do? So, I'm already hungry and eating my breakfast, which is those Cape Cod kettle chips. And, I'm not being endorsed or anything like that, but I'm telling you, if you like those crunchy kettle chips, them chips are good. So I'm munching on them. And something just struck me as, well, heck, I do have something I can throw out the window to the parade people. So I reach into the bag, and I toss out a handful of these loose potato chips. And from a distance, you know, it doesn't look like the regular Tootsie Roll little penny candy. These are chips. You know, they're pretty good size. So the kids and the actual grown-ups, they go for them. And when I say go for them, jump off the curb because A, I work for a TV station. I'm not poisoning them. They're wondering, ooh, what's that stuff? So they dive for these chips. And the minute they catch them in crunch, they acted like I had some